We make way for Jim Harbaugh, first season Chargers head coach. Who has it better than we do?
Nobody.
How about that? We're getting a lot of mileage out of that. That story you told us when you and your brother and sister are walking, a mile to wherever, and your dad made it seem like you got the greatest life in the world.
They sure did, Dan. It came out one day. We were living in Iowa City, Iowa, and we had a dealer car, but for some reason that dealer car wasn't there that day. And my dad said, "No car today, boys. We're walking. John, grab a basketball. 100 with the right, then 100 with the left. Jim, get a basketball. 100 with the right, 100 with the left. We're walking. Who's got it better than us? Nobody, Dad. Nobody."
Now, do you say that? Do you say that to your team? Do they look at you and go, "Okay, I don't know what this means, but you certainly seem enthusiastic about it"?
Yeah, no, it's there's a couple layers of it. It's just a way of looking at something, right? I mean, who's got it better than us? Nobody. That's a perspective. And then it also has the layer of, hey, of ankle weights. Of, sometimes you don't think you have it good or somebody else has got it better, but it's actually the thing that's making you overcome something that makes you better. For example, I grew up as a kid wanting to be a major league shortstop, until probably the time I was 17 years old. I was destined and born to be, but it turned out that there was kids in the Dominican Republic who had it a lot better than I did. They didn't have a field. Their ball glove was a milk carton. So there was a lot of bad hops. Turned out that they had it better than I did because I had a glove and I had a decent field. And then it's the thing that I really say, and my dad said to us as a family, and I thought what he was really saying when he said, who's got it better than us, Jim and John, he was really telling us that, he was the lucky one to have, to be a dad and have these, this family. And when we said nobody back, then what we were really saying was, we loved it. We love being in this family. So it's carried on, from one generation to the next. And when I say it I say it to my two great loves, my family at home and my family at work. There's no coach that could have it better than be coaching, this in this organization with these players and these coaches. And when I say it to my kids, I say it the same way. Like, I'm the luckiest dad there is.
Tell me about, you gave each of your players a work shirt with their name, the patch, the lightning bolt logo on there. So something an auto mechanic might wear. Why? Yeah. Do you have the shirt there?
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Got my blue collar shirt right here.
So it is blue collar. Or a gas station guy might wear something like that, old school.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned that. Obviously it's a motivational shirt. It's it honors work, and that's the first layer of that. And the second layer, for me and really everybody is I'm honoring the people in my life that did the dirty work, and everybody's got it. You've got it. I've got it. Some people goes back one generation to their parents, or it goes back to their grandparents, maybe their great grandparents. Not very often, but there's somebody in your family, Dan, I know that did a job that they didn't love to do, but they did it to put a roof over the family's head. And in my case, that's my two grandparents, Joe Sapiti. That's my mom's dad. And in fact, he went to work. He's had a full-time job since he was in the sixth grade. He had to leave the sixth grade and go work for his family. Came over from Italy when he was 4 years old, and in fact, he worked in a filling station. That was his job. And then he became a self-taught mechanic. And before he was done, he got so good at being a mechanic that he was teaching mechanics at Cleveland Trade School, and he wore a shirt like this, just exactly like this. I remember growing up, and his said Joe on it. And my dad's dad, Bill Harbaugh, he was a brakeman on a train, and he wore the same kind of shirt, and it said Bill. And he became an engineer. But the bottom line was he got my dad and his kids to college. My dad went to Bowling Green State University. My mother, Jackie, also went to Bowling Green State University. That's where they met. My dad played football, and my mom was a cheerleader. Both became educators after college. And as Michelle Obama says, I mean, the closest guarantee you have to success in life is education. I believe that, and that's what allowed my mom and dad to do a job they love. My dad became a coach, and then yeah, that. But I look back and I honor Joseph Petey and Bill Harbaugh for doing the job, the dirty work for their family. So that's the second piece to that work shirt. Thanks for asking that. That's something very important to me and our family.
Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers won their opener, beat the Raiders. Next game will be coming up next Sunday. They'll face the Panthers. You got the game ball. How many game balls have you ever received? You seem kind of surprised, emotional after the game.
That was a great moment. There's it's one of the best feelings there is when you're part of a team and you're working so hard for your team to have success. The betterment of the organization, the betterment of all of its members, and when it comes together, and that's a tremendous feeling of victory, feeling of winning, and Mr. Spanos gifted myself and Joe Ortiz a game ball, and that was cool to be a part of.
I know you talked about winning multiple championships with the Chargers. Let me go back to you leaving Michigan. The landscape of college football, what role did that play, if any, in you wanting to leave college football to go back to the NFL?
Well, it was it's just a piece to the puzzle. I think what you're asking me, maybe I'm getting that wrong, but the chance to win a Super Bowl, win a championship, to just simply be known as world champions, that's definitely a piece to the puzzle.
But NIL, transfer portal, didn't have an adverse effect. Nick Saban's talked about this. Some of these other, high-profile coaches that you want to coach. Now you got to be worrying about how much money, kids constantly transferring in and out. Is the NFL simpler?
I always looked at that as real positives, change that needed to be made. It's taken 50 some years for there to be revenue sharing. Still not there yet, but in my opinion, that needs to happen. But it's week two. It's week two for the Los Angeles Chargers, and all the focus and attention is really there. But it's just
if you had won a Super Bowl, would you have gone back to the NFL if you had already won?
Well, that's a great question. The other piece of the puzzle is, like, this is the highest level. I want to see if I measure up, if I can come into this tremendous organization and add value. Yeah, that's a piece of it too. I love the challenge, and this league is, as you know, I mean, you've heard 1,000,000 people say it. I mean, it's really hard to get a win, and it's really special to win a championship. I haven't done it. To your question, I remember it's almost like the Field of Dreams movie. Remember when Burt Lancaster, was talking about his playing days, and he said he walked off that field thinking there would be other days, but there were no other days. And yeah, I walked off that Super Bowl field in New Orleans, thinking there'll be another day. There'll be another day. You don't know if there is going to be another day. So to have that opportunity to be back in position, to be in position, I'm sure going to attack it with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
We just had Alex Smith on last hour, and I said, all right, give me a Harbaugh story. And he said, that guy, he says, all I wanted to do was play football, coach football, and then die.
That's true. I've said that. I've thought that.
So you believe that you play football, you're going to coach football, and you're going to coach until you die. That's the plan.
That's been the plan. That has been the plan. Yeah.
Does your wife know that's the plan?
That's been the plan since I was 5 years old. I must admit that. I remember being in Bowling Green. My dad was coaching at Bowling Green at the time, and was getting off the kindergarten bus to go to school. And I used to like visualize that I was like my dad, when he would with his team and he would get off the bus, and the players would get off the bus. So I used to just picture being on the team bus, getting off the bus and like I was walking into the stadium, and kind of makes the little hairs on my arm stand up because I've just been able to do that pretty much my whole life since then. And I had that thought as a 5.5, 6-year-old, like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play as long as I can, then coach, and then die. That was yeah, I mean, it's genuine to me.
Well, I remember Brent Musburger saying that to me about Joe Paterno. He said he will never retire. Joe Paterno will die. Like he'll coach until he dies. And, he said that's my fear with Joe Paterno. And he pretty much did that till they kind of, kicked him to the curb.
I just have so much gratitude, Dan, just for being able to do what I love. And it's have a job, to be able to work. Work to me is you probably saw it in that some of it in the work shirt there, but there's and that's that work ethic I get from watching my dad and my mom and my grandpas and my family. That's faith, family, football. That is that's core. So just keep praying that I can have one more day to work on football. Work on going to Carolina and seeing if we can get win number 2. You can't be 2-0 unless you're 1-0. We're there now. It's on to Carolina.
That is factually true. You can't be 2-0 unless you're 1-0. So just saying.
Yeah, I just have a lot of gratitude to be able to do this. I'm just gonna keep going. And my wife, Sarah, nobody's got it better than I. You brought.
I thought you were going to say nobody's got it better than she does because she's married.
No. I'm the lucky one again. I drew the long straw there, Mr. Patrick.
All right, before we let you go, we're going to play the what did Jim Harbaugh have for breakfast? All right, Todd, you guess first.
Some kind of yogurt with granola type thing.
Okay. Seton?
I think just a little eggs and bacon.
Okay. That's old school. Yeah. Midwest. Marvin?
Turkey and egg whites.
Turkey and egg whites. Wow. Paulie?
Coach has no time for breakfast at home. He's shot out of a cannon. I think a staffer leaves a banana on his desk. Efficiency, get back to coaching.
I'm going to say no breakfast yet.
You're right. You were both right. There's been no breakfast.
There's no time
for
breakfast.
A Diet Coke.
A Diet Coke.
Diet Coke or a Diet Pepsi.
All right. Yeah. All right. That's it. Like I would have thought steak and eggs, but you don't. A glass of milk. A nice glass of milk.
We're up and at it, attacking.
Okay. Good luck against Carolina. Good to talk to you again, and thanks for joining.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. I'm just waiting for you to bring up the 2-foot putt that I missed at Lake Nona back in the 90s.
I was trying to keep it positive.
Every interview we've ever done, you've always brought up the 2-foot putt.
No, we're.
You're on to Carolina.
I'm on to Carolina. I'm Belichick. We're not going to go back. We're going forward here.
You're the best, Dan.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Coach.
you.
That's Jim Harbaugh. Who has it better than we do?
Nobody.